hardest part for me is the invisibility of the disorder. And I felt like sometimes people didn't believe me, like, or they disregarded what I was saying. And there's like, oh, you're fine, just get on with it. Why are you feeling like I was out of control? Like I couldn't control the situation. I couldn't control how I felt. I was constantly thinking about and worrying about, okay, what's going to happen to me next?
Welcome to another episode of our podcast. I am your friend, Wafa Umran, and this is Go Beyond. In this episode, you will hear how our struggles can become turning points, how faith anchors us in uncertainty, and how true wellness is about designing a life that feels whole. And Marwa knows this because she's lived it. Behind the image of a leader, a wife, and a mother, she carried an invisible struggle, one that tested her resilience and ultimately led her to discover a new purpose. Welcome to our show, The Go Beyond.
Thank you so much. It's my honor to be here today with you, Wafa, and very, very excited for our conversation.
My guest today is Marwa Ismail, a national board certified health coach, founder of Figs and Olives Wellness, and part of the team of Minneapolis Integrative Medicine Center. She's also, mashallah, a hafiza of the Quran and the Amira of Al Maghrib Institute's Charlotte chapter, where she serves in promoting Islamic knowledge, a woman whose life reflects balance, service, and faith. Welcome, Marwa.
Thank you, Wafat. I appreciate that beautiful introduction. And really, as you're speaking, it's incredible to think about the journey that that I was on and still am on. So I'm excited to share about that.
What I admire most about you and your journey into health coaching is that it didn't come from text. It came from life. With your background in psychology and biology, you have ultimately shaped your purpose. Can you take us to the story behind what led you to this work of helping women reclaim their health and wellness?
Sure, I'd love to. So it really started as I was struggling a little bit with my own health. It was a little bit before, a few years before COVID. I found myself in a place where I was pretty young in my early 30s and felt like I was exhausted all the time. I was losing my hair. My joints and my muscles ached all the time. I felt very irritable. I felt very down. Just a lot of things were just not normal. I didn't feel like my normal self. And this was happening for a while. And, as anyone would, go to the doctor to see what's going on. And the doctor didn't really have a lot of answers for me. And so I was like, I'm not going to just accept that. Found out later that I had an autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's, wherein your body basically attacks your thyroid. And I was like, okay, great. Now I have a diagnosis. So now I can do something about it. And so I spent a lot of time researching and digging and reading and attending every webinar and every class that I could to learn about this illness. And what I found was really empowering because I found out that there's a lot you can do. And so I started taking steps to change my diet and lifestyle and all of these things. And eventually I started feeling much better. So that was kind of the story behind where it led me to become a health coach.
Alhamdulillah. How was it day by day? And how did you navigate that period of your life emotionally, physically, or spiritually?
Honestly, I struggled day to day just to get on with the day, like I had to like I said, in early 30s, I was pretty young, very energetic and everything, and all of a sudden I found myself having to take naps, multiple naps during the day just to finish the day, just to get from one point A to point B during the day. Not just that, but emotionally, I started feeling like something was wrong with me. And the thing is, because I looked okay on the outside, I looked the same. Like I didn't gain weight or lose weight, or, there is no physical changes that happened. It was very hard for me to explain to other people why I was feeling the way I was feeling.
Mm,
And I felt like sometimes people didn't believe me, like, or they disregarded what I was saying. And there's like, oh, you're fine, just get on with it. So I
mm.
think that was the hardest part for me is the invisibility of the disorder and that I couldn't show people physically like this is what I'm struggling with. But it was a constant struggle every day.
Yeah, yeah, I can totally understand this. And I'm sure a lot of people are relating to this feeling of isolation. I can't imagine how that struggle affected your sense of self, your confidence, your family life, and your faith as well.
Yeah, yeah, it really did affect me in all of those ways. And I found myself questioning a lot of things like why is this happening to me? I struggled for a while, even with anxiety, just feeling like I was out of control, like I couldn't control the situation. I couldn't control how I felt. I was constantly thinking about and worrying about, okay, what's going to happen to me next? Is this going to be
Mm,
forever? Am I going to always feel like this? Definitely it took a toll on all of those things, mental, emotional, spiritual. But I think in retrospect, it was actually very much needed to be able to get through and find my way out of that dark period.
that resonates a lot. Thank you for sharing that because a lot of women know what it means to look good in the outside, but actually they are fighting invisible struggles, whether it is emotionally or physically or even spiritually. Naming that battle is very powerful. As you said, people might have shame you into like, why aren't you like picking yourself up when you actually cannot pick yourself up? So,
No.
how have you learned to embrace this vulnerability in this world that expects perfection from us?
I think it's really important because I feel like always grew up feeling a sense of responsibility. Like I was always the responsible one in my family. I was always the one that people came to when they had a problem, when they needed help, when I'm always there for everyone. That's just my role. And so
Mm,
that was, I think, made it even harder for me because now I'm struggling and I was not used to being on the receiving end of the help. I was
mm,
always the one helping. And so it took me, and I think I'm still learning how to do this, but it took me a long time to realize that it's okay to let other people know that you're struggling. It took me like really until recently that I figured this out
mm.
that I felt like I always had to put this fake face on sometimes,
Yeah, a
like it's
mask.
not real, like it's a mask, yeah. And it's just so I can live up to the expectations that I put on myself, that I made myself think that I had to always fulfill. So it was really difficult for me to get to that stage where I started to express how I actually feel and
Mm,
start saying, no, I'm not going to do that anymore, putting boundaries. It's still hard for me until now, but I've come a long way. And
mm,
I've noticed that it's really not as hard or difficult or scary as I thought it was going to be. And the other part of that is asking for help.
mm,
It's very hard for me to ask for help. Again, like I'm always the one helping. So it's not
yeah.
natural for me to ask someone else to help me. And I think it took me a long time to realize that I don't have to be put together all the time for
Oh,
everyone. It's a journey, but it's taken me a long time to realize that being vulnerable actually, and one of my friends, actually really good friends, told me this one time. She said, I was telling her about something I was going through, and at the end of it, I was like, I'm really sorry that I burdened you with this. And she said, that's
mm,
not how life is, and you
mm.
have to be able to be there for other people. And she's like, you gave me the opportunity to do that. And I was like, that's such an interesting perspective that I'd never thought about it in that way. And it really helped me.
Yes. Are we friends only to laugh together?
Yeah.
We're
Mhm.
friends laugh with each other and cry with each other.
Absolutely.
The way I look at friendship, it's reciprocal, it's give and take.
Yeah, absolutely.
How did you keep going forward? And how did you initially found that you can now turn this into ownership of your health?
Yeah.
It
So
must be a journey.
definitely, and it still
Yeah.
is. And I don't ever think that I'm going to arrive at a place where I'm like, I know everything. I think it's always good to know that you can always learn something new and progress in a different way.
Mm,
But as I started changing my lifestyle and my diet and just learning like this whole new world of integrative and functional medicine opened up for me that I never knew about before. And I found myself immersed in that. Like the more I learned, the more I tried things, the more I felt better. That was the key. I was like, this is actually working. So I was like, okay, if this works for me, then it must work for other people. And there must be a way that I can help people that are going through similar struggles. And so, subhanAllah, it really led me to my calling. Like I really do believe that health coaching is my calling.
mhm.
And I do feel like I'm not to and I never like to really praise myself, but I do feel like I'm a really great health coach. It's something that comes natural to me because
I agree. I
thank
testify.
you. Thank you. Um, Health coaching combines a lot of things that I feel like have strengths in, nurturing, listening, being there for people, encouraging people. Those are things that I already have strengths in, right? And then it also combines things that I'm really passionate about, like nutrition and wellness and health and just learning about, medicine. It's very funny because when I was growing up, I thought about becoming a doctor one day. I thought about becoming a nurse one day. Like, subhanAllah, now that I look back, I was going to go into a counseling program. I was going to become a counselor. So
Yeah,
I feel like all of the things that I was interested in growing up and didn't necessarily go into, I did go into psychology and biology and all of that. Um, but I felt like this profession combined all of those things in
mm,
one. And so I was like, this is what I have to do. And so I really threw myself into learning and getting multiple certificates. It was very important to me to be there for other people in their struggle because I know how it feels. And I
mm.
think that's the part of health coaching that really helps me excel is because I can be there with you in your struggle because I know how you feel, right? And so that's what really helped me, I think, excel in this field.
MashaAllah. Actually, that leads me to a question. On you for 6 years of been around, and you always had that perfect image that women aspire for, right? MashaAllah, a community leader, hafiza, good marriage, mashallah, good children. Does that put a pressure on you when you are struggling? A lot of women feel that they are not understood and they need to always keep that perfect image. What do you want to say about that to women who are suffering with that point exactly?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I don't think there is a perfect image. That's number one. I think that we perceive other people like that. And I think social media really has a lot to do with this too, is feeding us these lies about you only see people on social media for the most part. I'll say people only show you when they're happy or celebrating or something good is happening.
Yeah,
But you don't know what happened right before that video was taken or that picture was taken. You don't know the struggles. You don't know if someone just broke down before they got on there. You don't know, right? And
yeah.
so having a chronic illness has really helped me to put that into perspective a little bit because, I mean, alhamdulillah, like I'm a lot better than I used to be. But I do have daily struggles. I have a lot of things that I have to like worry about or think about or do to make sure that I'm trying to keep my health at bay. I'm trying to keep things, as uneventful as possible, right? So
Mm,
I think that helps me to view other people as not perfect because I think I used to think that too.
mm,
And now it's allowed me to, and actually through coaching, it's really helped me see that there's a lot of stuff under the surface that we don't know about. And
yes.
so it's helped me to not judge other people for sure. It's helped me to be more kind to people, but then it's also helped me to be more kind to myself.
Mm,
That for sure, I don't view myself as that perfect image or at all. Allah only knows the struggles that we all go through, not just personally, but on a family level, on a community level. There's so many struggles. It's just interesting how we conjure up this idea of other people.
mm,
But I think it's really important for us to get to know people on a deeper level so
yeah.
that you can understand that one of the things I really try to do in coaching is to show people that I'm here with you on your journey. I'm not better than you in any way.
Yes.
I haven't figured it out. I'm with you on the same path, trying to figure it out too.